Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, let's talk about the upcoming Tesla Model Y trims because I read through all the different comments and you all are definitely wanting to see like when is the long range real wheel drive, the cheaper Model Y performance, and much more. So we'll talk about when I personally think that it could be releasing and maybe what some other people think. And I also want to hear from you all. Like, when do you think these different trims, or at least the trim that you're looking to get, is coming out for the brand new Tesla Model Y? So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. And if you've got a question, you can send me a DM on the Patreon group down below in the description. Today's live stream is partnered and sponsored by Aura, where you can protect your online data and much more, but more on that later. And so let's take a look at it. Here's what we're waiting for. There's plenty of Model Ys. Well, there's really only one Model Y that's out in the US. We've got the long range all-wheel drive, and we have the Juniper launch series that gives you all the different package that is available in inventory if you're looking to get it. And depending on your build, it might actually make a lot of sense because you get all the different incentives to get it, or not incentives, but you get like the full self-driving and the acceleration boost if you're looking to get it. But here's the full list, at least from what we can piece from what other sources have said, like Lars in engineering for Tesla and much more, and from other countries as well. We potentially will see a Model Y long range rear wheel drive. And after seeing how popular the Model 3 long range rear wheel drive, the cheapest build with the best payment, $349 a month, I can see how maybe a lot of you out there are waiting for this build because you want that low cost option. And so maybe that is one of the vehicles that will push Tesla over the edge of getting around this no demand for the Model Y. We've got Model Y Performance. I know some of you are performance junkies. You want that speed and you want to be able to go the fastest on a Tesla Model Y. And we'll talk about when that could be happening as well. We got Model Y 7-seater, which I personally think is not worth it because of how small the vehicle is. I think I'd rather you, if you got like a family of 2 kids plus a significant other, that's like a Model X size. Anything over than that, it's going to be tight, especially if you're going on any sort of road trips. I really explore you to go take a look at a Model X, see how that could fit into your lifestyle, and then just imagine a Model Y 7-seater is going to be way smaller than that. I think Model Y 7-seater is good like as a second vehicle in the family for like maybe when like family comes into town, you need that extra third row on that off chance like every once in a while. But maybe if that's like an often case, then maybe that could be a good one. And then we've got this elusive, cheaper, affordable Model Y, maybe like that's similar to the Mexico Model 3 with the lower build quality and all the other different things like that. Because in the comments of the videos, I see this a ton. When is performance coming? When is third row returning? When is cheaper Model Y rear wheel drive coming? And much more. And the real thing is, I feel like Tesla, they're not shooting themselves in the foot here, but they kind of are, because I know a lot of you aren't making your decision, aren't making a purchase for a Model Y until these trims get released. And so I certainly feel like Tesla, I hope they're prioritizing some of these releases. I mean, maybe they're trying to hold higher margins because of how the Model Y is brand new. But I mean, it's already starting to show that people want maybe a Model Y. They just don't want these Model Ys. They definitely didn't want launch series, and long range all-wheel drive maybe is overkill for them. They want a cheaper version or a third row or a performance. And I think once those versions actually gets released into the market, and once people see like third row is whatever the cost or performance is whatever the cost, maybe then they'll start to shift their decision and maybe say like, oh, you know what? Maybe that long range all-wheel drive, because maybe I'll have a discount at the time. Maybe that's a better deal than the performance, because performance, in my opinion, it's great. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it is definitely a little bit of an overkill at some points. But no, I certainly get it. If you want that performance gung ho, and I feel like I'm going to get a performance as well. But here is my guess. I went ahead and posted it. So I think a lot of these models could be coming out in Q3 of this year. I think Tesla, now that they've released 1.99, they're going to ride that out because they've got inventory to sell of these long range all-wheel drives, and they want to hold that higher gross as well. And so I feel like it just makes more sense for them to build it until inventory levels of the Model Y maybe get too high. Then they'll probably switch their positioning to like the rear wheel drive and build those Tesla vehicles afterwards. And then in terms of performance, what's interesting with this is that the performance of the Model 3 performance came out around April of last year. And so I'm like twiddling my thumbs wondering like, where is the Model Y performance? But Frunk to Trunk actually posted this. Tesla Birdie told me 6 months for the Model Y performance. And then, of course, I commented no. And they said, hope they're wrong. It was a Tesla employee. So if Model Y performance is coming out all the way by the end of this year, like a Q4 type of action, like October, November, I mean, we could easily see that. But I guess it's like, I don't know if it's like the Osborne effect where people are waiting for that new model and they don't make a purchase until that new model comes out, whether it's like the new one or the current long range all-wheel drive. I guess it is Osborne effect or like reverse Osborne effect with that. But very interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. Certainly let us know when you think some of these Tesla vehicles could be actually coming out, and when do you think other trims, other versions, and take a look at that. We've got the new Model Y, as we're talking about this, is available for sale. So hilarious that great timing for this. And you know what? We're actually just going to be right back after this quick sponsor. If you're planning on financing your Tesla, then there's one thing. If you're planning on financing your Tesla, then there's one thing you need to do before you even apply: protect your credit. Seriously, because here's the wildest part. Bank of America just had a data breach recently, and they didn't even tell customers for a month. That means your social, your phone number, and your email could have already been out there, and you'd have no clue. Most companies wait on average of 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where your identity is exposed and you're the last to know. That's why I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura constantly scans the dark web and lets me know if anything tied to me shows up: my social, bank info, or any of my personal information. And that's not just for breaches. There's so many different tools I use with Aura. Want to reduce those pesky spam calls? Aura's got it. Want to remove your data like your addresses, phone numbers from those sketchy broker sites? Aura has that too. They will also include $5 million in identity theft insurance, and everything's packed into one clean app. You can try it free for 14 days at aura.com/DennisCW. I'll put that in the description as well. Don't wait until someone else tells you your data is at risk. That's like turning on Sentry mode after your car got keyed. Protect your credit before you apply. I'm doing it, and you should too.